Craig, I'm looking forward to how the team plays with Salah on AFCON duty this winter, said Daz. Daz, so am I. Because we talked about it last night, mate, and it's very interesting because let's say that we find a system that works while Salah's away and we pick up some wins and maybe the form improves, the style improves. It'll be interesting to see if he then reverts back. So he has to find a way now to get Wirtz and Isak on the pitch. He has to find a way to include Chiesa more. Or excuse me, I meant Isak and Ekitike on the pitch together. He has to find a way for Wirtz to work. And he's going to have to play Chiesa more. So very interesting. We talked about it last night. I'm fully of the point now, Daz, that we need to build for the future. And that future, won't include Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk in 2-3 years. It just won't. It's not me trying to wish them away, but it won't. So I think we got to start it now. And we got to start looking to building the team around your Isaks, your Ekitikes, your Wirtz, the players who will be here for the next 5, 6, 7 years, hopefully. And as ruthless as that sounds, it's the right thing to do because you don't go and invest all that money in those players and then just kind of keep trying to funnel the ball to Salah and build a team around a player who won't be here in 2 years. I'm not saying Salah should be out of the team, but I'm saying the structure of the team in years gone by would have been built. Get the ball to Salah, let's get Mo in these positions. Now we've got to look to solve problems in other ways, and the AFCON Daz, as you've mentioned, gives us a good opportunity to do that without the pressure of the manager not playing Salah or putting him on the bench, So, yeah, let's see how we get on. Paul Owen said, Salah has been quite selfish for some games this season. He has, Paul, he has. And, it's never something that some people think he's been selfish for years. I've never really bought into that. But I also, as I keep coming back to, mate, you're selfish if you miss. And when your form isn't what it should be. And look, there have been times where, regardless of whether he did score or not, the better option was probably to pass it. Certainly the Wirtz one I spoke about a second ago. But yeah, maybe it's because he's trying to force it too much as well. But it has to be a team game. And you're right, if people are in better positions, you've got to do what's best for the team. And that's lay the easy ball on or get your head up and make that pass. Has Slaw almost been unlucky to have won the league last year as it removed the expectation of a transition season, which we're in now. And thank you, Lee J. Thompson. Sorry, mate, my eyesight's not as good as it used to be. I would never say he's unlucky to win the league, but I do get the point you're making, Lee, and there's probably something to it, bro. Because like you said, if you go back to the start of last season, I'll certainly be speaking about how I was talking. There was no talk of a title race for me, not at all. I thought if we got top 4 in a decent Champions League run, that'd be that. But it definitely has upped the ante somewhat. I guess you could look at it two ways though, Lee, right? You could say maybe it's bought him a bit more grace for this lull or this sticky patch. Or, as you pointed out, maybe it kind of built up a bit more pressure on him. But I'm still very happy that we did win the league last year. But it's a really interesting point, and I think there's definitely some truth to what you're saying. Ryan, completely agree, Craig. I'm still so happy we had the window we had, and for me, FSG are testing slow. That's the reason they invested heavily. Look, I'm grateful for the window as well, and like I said during the window, I'm not gonna complain about the owners. I've been asking Ryan for years for them to back a manager in the way they have. I agree with the transfers. Frimpong is the only one that I question because of the suitability to the 11, not the quality of the player. Jeremy's more than good enough. But yeah, buzzing, mate, and it will come together. It will. This is just, it's a tough patch for us, right? We're frustrated right now, especially the way we went into the last international break on the back of 3 losses. Then we lost to United after it. We've got together some decent wins, and then we go and play the way we did against Man City, which just wasn't good enough. Nottingham Forest, 3 p.m, Saturday kickoff when we come back, and hopefully we can start to pick up from here. Because, like you said, Ryan, these signings are top notch. The owners have invested, and Luxla has to find a way to knit it together. But yeah, I'm trying to be optimistic, dude. I'm trying to be optimistic. I said the other day that I kind of accepted that we're not going to be a challenger in the league this year. I just don't want us falling away from those top 4 or 5 spots. Hopefully we can come good in the latter part of the Champions League, and who knows with the FA Cup. I think the current form is like that arrow. The more you pull it back, the further it will go. My heart always says stop it, will be there. The current form is frustrating because we're up and down, you know. I didn't expect to see the Manchester City performance after the two performances we had before that. And like I said, it's no disgrace losing to Manchester City at the Etihad. But the way that we lost, it was a bit frustrating because it's not like we put our best foot forward and we were just beaten by a better team. We were just outrun, outtaught, outfought, outplayed. And that's, it's a long 2 weeks, isn't it? FC pitchside when you've got to just sit and wait for the next game. Hi mate, remember Evans 3-4-1-2? Could that work? Yes, it could. And you were with us last night, Liam. We were talking about the fact that the under-21s looked like they were playing with a back three. So are we going to maybe see that? No, I don't. Still, arguing, we don't have the personnel or the strength and depth at the centre-back position, but of course it could work. It could absolutely work, and it would, get us more out of the likes of Kirkes, Frimpong. You could absolutely play Bradley as a wing-back. Robbo could play as a wing-back if he's not playing as one of the back three. Definitely. And then in your midfield, you're looking at maybe one holding player, 1-8. So let's say you've got Maka and Evans, or Maka and Szoboszlai in there, or Gravenberch and Maka, or Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, or Jones and Gravenberch, and then you've got your forward-thinking player in Wirtz, and I guess Jones could fill in there as well if needs be. So yeah, look, if we had the personnel, Liam, I dare say most of us in the chat wouldn't mind us having a run at maybe a back three. John said, can Arna and all the squad watch the new King Kenny documentary and see what real passion is and how amazingly blessed they are to wear the Liverpool shirt? I'd say a lot of them have probably watched it, John, but yeah, I think you're kind of going down the same route as me, John, in that I don't want to say passion. I don't want to say passion because that's really unfair. But that aggression just isn't there, mate. And I honestly think that stems from the manager's demeanour. Is that the right word? Like I said, it could be a very Dutch thing. I don't know. But that's the one thing that I can't quite connect with Arna on is I want to see our players go out there with energy and passion and a bit of swagger as well, John, to be honest with you. The liver bit on your chest should give you a little bit of swagger as well. Said, how do we play a fully fit Isak? Newcastle gave him great service. Can we? Does Ekitike go left? For me, Isak is still a better player than Ekitike once 100%. I think there has to be some way that we play with two strikers and a 10 in behind. And that 10, of course, being Wirtz. Now, what that means for wide players, I don't know, is the honest answer, mate. But we know we've no Salah for the AFCON. So if you're going to try and tweak a system, that feels like a natural time to do it. Or at least to get, as you said, Ekitike and Isak on the pitch together. I have no disagreement with you that a fit Isak and a sharp Isak is better than Ekitike. I think that's fair because I think he's more of a goal scorer. I think Ekitike maybe bring more to the all-round team and link up play a bit better. We've got to figure it out. And look, it's a good headache, but it is still nonetheless a headache that the manager has to figure out.